let's face it, home ownership is a constant juggling act, right? I mean, you've got the kitchen remodel to maybe some new bathroom fixtures to redoing the floors. And what ends up happening, that front yard of yours goes neglected. It's kind of like the forgotten stepchild.
Cinderella?
But here's the thing, your curb appeal is your home's first impression. Now, I know you want your front yard to make a statement. So today, we're gonna take 3 ordinary yards and we're gonna give them a budget-friendly makeover using some clever design tricks, and this is gonna lead to your neighbors saying, did they hire a professional landscape designer? Welcome to Landscaping Made Simple. My name is Bobby K. I'm a professional landscape designer and general contractor, and I wanna help you make your yard look awesome. So before we get into the first design, make sure you stick around at the end of the video because I have a giveaway for you. It's absolutely free. It is incredible. And it's gonna help you that much more with your front yard, making it look like the envy of the neighborhood. First up, we got a house in St. Louis, Missouri. They did an incredible job on their inside with renovating the kitchen and the bath and the floors and all these cool stuff, but it's time for the outside to get an overhaul. There is some old burning bushes, there is some uneven ground, there's just a lot of hodgepodgeness, and it's a pretty blank canvas if we're being honest about it. There's not much going on, right? So what we wanna do is get into our first design technique, which is bringing in color and a harmonious balance. It's almost like a symphony, an orchestra kind of putting together all of these beautiful melodies, and then boom, it hits you and you're just in this state of ah. That's what we wanna do with color. So the first thing we wanna do is create some beautiful curvy beds. And personally, I like mulch because it's very soft, it's easy to look at, and rock just seems kind of harsh, especially if you got big trees, which they have on this street. The leaves are gonna drop in there. It's gonna be a little difficult to clean. Where mulch, they blow right out. So creating some nice curves, because this is a linear house, would be the first thing. The second thing is, let's take out the old stuff. Let's work the elevations. Maybe we can have a little bit where there's an ornamental tree, but for the most part, bringing that grade down, making it flat, having water run away from the house to the street is very important. We're gonna have some azaleas, we're gonna have some evergreens, we're gonna have some red twig dogwoods in there. These are things that are gonna create seasonal interest. Even in the winter, when everything loses its leaves, those evergreens and dogwoods with the red stems are gonna look really cool. So we've got color year round, or about as good as you can do in St. Louis, Missouri. Finally, what we wanna do is bring this around the side of the house. Don't just do the front, do the side as well, those kind of transitional areas, and bring all of these elements together. So you got color, you got seasonal interest, and this harmonious balance. Now, this beautiful yard is gonna be the envy of the neighborhood because we took out all the flatness, we got something worth looking at. Let's go to the second one. All right, next we have a YouTube subscriber from Rosalie, Illinois. They are back. Last year we did a front yard curb appeal landscape design for them, bringing in that color and texture that we just learned about in the St. Louis house. But now they want to tie it in. They want to bring it around the sides of the house. It's like we do the front, but we don't put in effort on the sides. A lot of the times the bed comes around and it just gets slapped up against the house, and maybe there's a couple things in that. I think that's such a miss. I think there's so much opportunity here to continue those beds around and bring them out away from the house and have more opportunity to plant and put in boulders and put in all these cool things. So that's what we want to do. And listen, we're talking front yard here, but if you're interested in backyard, you're interested in learning more tips, I want you to consider subscribing like they did, because they are learning more and more. Every single week we put out a new video. I give away something for free every single week. I'm here to help you. I'd love for you to be part of the community. Now, let's talk about what's going on. We got some blue fescue, we have some crepe myrtles, we've got some evergreens. That's what is the meat and potatoes of the front. Now, I wanna take these beds and bring them out and around and get them off the house and create more opportunity. So on one side, we're gonna have a Japanese maple as a focal point. We're going to have some boulders. We're gonna have some arborvitaes to break up that dead space of the siding so that they're staggered. I almost call this like a staggering effect, right? A breakup effect, if you will. Kind of like the Jennifer Aniston movie, but without all the humor.
Oh, that's funny. Ooh.
You know, break it up, get some seasonal interest, play off your existing landscaping so it's cohesive, And then if we jump over to the other side, you're gonna see we use the same elements. We got the blue fescue grasses, we got the crepe myrtle, we have some Weigela wine and rose bushes, and we're kind of taking that over to the patio. So you got side 1, side 2, and the front, and it all goes together. It's all cohesive with the breakup effect. Breaking up that siding, getting some height, getting some color, getting some texture. You do that, front yard's gonna pop. Let's go to number 3. Finally, we are going out to see another YouTube subscriber in Matthews, North Carolina. Now, this house seemed kind of hidden behind some existing crepe myrtle bushes and some old boxwoods and just some unmanaged beds. So what we wanted to do was get rid of a bunch of that stuff, but keep the crepe myrtles. This was a client request. They absolutely wanted those. So we have to work with those and work kind of around those, work them into the landscaping. A lot of times you're gonna take on that you wanna keep a couple things in your landscaping, right? So how do you incorporate those? Essentially, you incorporate the things that you want by getting rid of everything else and then working around those, okay? Now, to create more interest for this particular home and wanting more of a pollinator like garden effect, that really comes into the planting. That comes into an effect called layering. Layering in landscape design refers to strategic arrangement of plants at various heights and depths to create a visually appealing and interesting composition. So we widened the driveway, got a brand new driveway in there, and it kind of took out that little hodgepodge bed up by the walkway. It's unnecessary once you widen the driveway. So that's the first thing. Second thing is they've got this big utility box over on the side, and it's kind of an eyesore. So one thing I'd love to do is a horizontal privacy screen, and then you can put the letters on there. That's actually going to modernize. Letters, I mean numbers, but you could do both actually. That's gonna modernize this place. And then softening everything with these sweeping, curvy, easy beds where the grass comes up, you've got a nice cut-in V, and it increases the planting area so that we can do a layering effect. We've got butterfly bushes along the railing in the front, which is gonna soften that and get some height going on. And in front of them, we have some evergreens. So the point of that is that seasonal interest. When everything starts to go away, you've at least got evergreens up there. We've got our crepe myrtles, we've got some really cool pops of color with coleus and some perennials up by the mailbox, some boulders, a Weigela wine and rose bush, and we've got those red twig dogwoods in there. A lot of similar plantings, and you can use a lot of these in different zones all over the country. The point is, we've kind of pulled off this pollinator thing with the butterfly. We've taken out unsightly things, widening the driveway, getting rid of the utility box, and we've softened the place. Now, this thing absolutely pops off the page versus this unmanaged, bland, kind of unkept thing. It's giveaway time. So it's one thing to show a bunch of designs and some techniques, right? It's very helpful. However, I wanna up the game. I wanna make it that much easier for you when you start this process and start going through it. So I've created something called the color wheel. This is a document that is incredibly effective for finding the right perennials, shrubs, trees, based on color for your home. This is gonna help you with your style, the architecture, your budget. You're gonna be able to lock in on certain things based on your zone, your style, your preferences, all these things like that. It's free. It's right in the description below. All you gotta do is go get it. And if you wanna learn more, if you want one more front yard curb appeal that is really gonna set this thing off, go check out this video right here. This thing is approaching 1 million views, and the reason being is it's a short video, it packs a punch, there's tons of information in there, and it's a pretty cool layout. So it may be something you're interested in. Go check it out. This is Bobby K saying creation is everything, so go out and create. I'll see you next time.